Okay. Shalom, Boker Tov. We're going to begin Parshah Vayechi. This is the last Parshah in the book of Beresheet. So after this Parashah, we'll be beginning the book of Shemot. This is the last Parashah, Vayechi, and it means, and he lived, referring to Jacob living in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. We're going to be reading in chapter 47, beginning on verse 28. So there's 4 verses in chapter 28, chapter 47, and then we'll begin moving on to chapter 48. Okay, so let's go ahead and say the blessing. Do you guys want to say good morning? Yeah. Boker Tov, good morning.
Boker Tov.
Okay. Let's go ahead and say the blessing for the Torah. Baruch Hu et Yahweh HaMbarak, Baruch Yahweh HaMbarak Leolam Vaed, Baruch Atah Yahweh Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamim, V'Natalanu et Torator, Baruch Atah Yahweh Noten HaTorah. Amen. Amen. Okay, so we're going to begin again, chapter 47, verse 28. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the Hebrew. And it's okay. Yeah, you're on the right. All right, and let me get the audio ready. Okay, so 28 and 29. And Jacob lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. And the time for Israel to die drew near. And he called his son Joseph and said to him, "Now, if I have found favor in your eyes, please put your hand under my thigh and show kindness and truth to me. Please do not bury me in Mitzrayim." Okay, so like in the Hebrew, the Vayechi means and he lived. You have here in the Hebrew, he lived. Right, 9 years. Shana, 17 years. Okay. And then he tells him, if I have found favor, matzati chen, have I found favor? He tells Joseph, don't bury me in Mitzrayim. Okay. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew.
ויחי יעקב בארץ מצרים 17 שנה. ויהי ימי יעקב שני חייו 7 שנים ו40 שנה. ויקרבו ימי ישראל למות. ויקרא לבנו ליוסף ויאמר לו, אם נא מצאתי חן בעיניך, שים נא ידך תחת ירכי, ועשית עמדי חסד ואמת. אל נא תקברני במצרים.
Okay. And then verse 30 and 31. So don't bury me in Mitzrayim, but I shall lie with my fathers, and you shall take me up out of Mitzrayim and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I do as you have said. And he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. And Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. So Joseph answers in verse 30, Anochi efe, I do. Anochi efe, I do. And in 31, says, Vaish tahu Yisrael, that Israel prostrated himself. So prostrate Vayishchu, Israel. And then, so he prostrated himself, al rosh, above the head, al rosh, of the bed. Okay, let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew, the last two verses in chapter 47.
ושכבתי עם אבותי, ונשאתני ממצרים וקברתני בקבורתם. ויאמר, אנוכי אעשה כדבריך. ויאמר, הישבעה לי, וישבע לו, וישטחו ישראל על ראש המיטה.
So that is the last part of chapter 47. We're going to begin chapter 48. Does anybody have any comments on what we just read or what we've been reading during the whole story of Joseph, the narrative of Joseph? Any comments? Anything you want to mention? I'm just going to get the audio ready. Ready? Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to get the audio, you guys. Give me 1 second. And give me 1 moment. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
פרק מ"ח. ויהי אחרי הדבר.
Okay. But there it goes. Back that up a little bit. So we've been reading about Joseph and how he brings his family into Mitzrayim, and now we just finished reading about his father, about them being reunited, and his father asking him to bury him in Egypt, to take him out and bury him with his family. So he has been living in Egypt for 17 years. Okay, that's what we just read. So chapter 48, verse 1 and 2. And after these events, it came to be that it was said to Joseph, see, your father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, see, your son Joseph is coming to you. And Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. So let's look at verses 1 and 2. In the Hebrew, so he says, Hine avicha chole, behold, your father is sick. Lo, avicha, your father is sick, is ill. And then they told Yaakov, Hine binha Yosef ba'elecha. Lo, your son, binha Yosef, is coming to you. Hine binha Yosef ba'elecha. Okay, so those are verse 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and hear it in the Hebrew.
ויהי אחרי הדברים האלה, ויאמר ליוסף, הנה אביך חולה. ויקח את 2 בניו עמו, את מנשה ואת אפרים. ויגיד ליעקב ויאמר, הנה בנך יוסף בא אליך. ויתחזק ישראל, וישב על המיטה.
Okay, and then verse 3 and 4. And Jacob said to Joseph, El Shaddai appeared to me at Luth in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said, see, I am making you bear fruit, and shall increase you and make of you an assembly of peoples, and give this land to your seed after you as an everlasting possession. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew.
ויאמר יעקב אל יוסף, אל שדי נראה אלי בלוז, בארץ כנען, ויברך אותי. ויאמר אלי, הנני מפרך והרביתיך, ונתתיך לקהל עמים, ונתתי את הארץ הזאת לזרעך אחריך, אחוזת עולם.
Okay. And then verse 5 and 6. And now your two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Mizraim, before I came to you in Mizraim, they are mine. As Reuben and Shimon, they are mine. So he's basically saying they are the same as if they were my children, not my grandchildren. Okay. And verse 6, your offspring whom you shall bring forth after them are yours, and let them be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. Okay, so any children that come after you, that you have after Ephraim and Manasseh, they can be yours, but Ephraim and Manasseh are going to be counted as Yaakov in terms of inheritance. They're going to receive land as if they were Yaakov's direct children, and we see that when they count the 12 tribes, they don't count Levi, and instead of saying Joseph, they'll say Ephraim and Manasseh. So there you have still 12 tribes. And let's see. Let's go ahead and hear verse 5 and 6 in the Hebrew.
ועתה, שני בניך הנולדים לך בארץ מצרים, עד בואי אליך מצרימה, לי הם. אפרים ומנשה, כראובן ושמעון יהיו לי. ומולדתך אשר הולדת אחריהם, לך יהיו. על שם אחיהם יקראו בנחלתם.
Okay. And verse 7. And when I came from Padan, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the way. And when there was but a little distance to go to Ephrat, and I buried her there on the way to Ephrat, that is Bethlehem. Okay, let's go ahead and hear that one in the Hebrew.
ואני בבואי מפדן, מתה עלי רחל בארץ כנען בדרך, בעוד כברת ארץ לבוא אפרתה, ואקבריה שם בדרך אפרת, היא בית לחם.
So there, I have heard a comment. If one of you guys know more about it, you can jump in and share. But that there is another verse that says about Rachel on the way, how her voice cries for her children, how Rachel's voice weeps for her children. And many people interpret that as meaning that when they were on the exile, she going through that road, through that path, she was weeping in a spiritual sense. Obviously, she wasn't alive, and kind of interceding for her children, her generation after her. Let's go ahead and go to verse 8 and 9. And Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, "Who are these?" So this is kind of an interesting verse because Joseph comes to visit him with his children, and then he's asking, "Who are these?" And you would think that he would know his grandchildren. So maybe it's referring to in a spiritual sense, he's asking, who are they, and or what's going to come from them or of them. So he says, Vayomer mi'alei. Vayomer mi'alei in the Hebrew. Okay, and then verse 9. And Joseph said to his father, "They are my sons whom Elohim has given me in this place." And he said, "Please bring them to me and let me bless them." Okay, so Jacob's going to bless them. Let's go ahead and hear verse 8 and 9 in the Hebrew.
וירא ישראל את בני יוסף ויאמר מי אלה? ויאמר יוסף אל אביו בניי הם. אשר נתן לי אלוהים בזה, ויאמר, קחם נא אלי ואברכם.
Okay. And then 10 and 11. And the eyes of Israel were dim with age, and he was unable to see. And he drew them near, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, I had not thought to see your face, but the Elohim hath also shown me your seed. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew, 10 and 11.
ועיני ישראל כבדו מזוקן לא יוכל לראות. ויגש אותם אליו, וישק להם, ויחבק להם. ויאמר ישראל אל יוסף, ראו פניך לא פיללתי, והנה הראה אותי אלוהים גם את זרעך.
Okay. And then verse 12 through 13. So Joseph brought them from between his knees, and he bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and he brought them near. Okay, so let's see. In the Hebrew, so we have the same word that we had earlier with his father, yishtahu. So when he bowed himself, or prostrated himself, yishtahu, and we see that he's putting the firstborn in his towards his father's right hand, and the secondborn towards his father's left hand. And I believe, so if we calculate that the children were born to him, it says that the children were born to him before the famine began. And Israel has lived in Egypt for 17 years. So that means that the children are somewhere between 13 and 18 years old approximately. Like if we don't know, somewhere in that range, depending on what year they were born during the famine. But they are young teenagers, young adolescents. So just so we kind of get an idea of who's being blessed here. Let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew.
ויוצא יוסף אותם מעם ברכיו, וישתח לאפיו ארצה. ויקח יוסף את שניהם, את אפרים בימינו משמאל ישראל, ואת מנשה בשמאלו מימין ישראל, ויגש אליו.
Okay, and then 14 through 16. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, consciously directing his hand, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, the Elohim before whom my fathers Abraham and Yitzhak walked, the Elohim who has fed me all my life long to this day, the messenger who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the youth, and let my name be called upon them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Yitzhak, and let them increase to a multitude in the midst of the earth. Okay, so that was 14 through 16, 3 verses. Let's look at that in the Hebrew. So he's crossing his hands and putting his right hand on the younger son. Okay? And then he says, Avote, okay, my father, and my father Abraham and Yitzhak. Okay, and he says, let me see, sorry, I'm looking for the right word. Then he said, Hamalak Hagoel, the Malak who has redeemed me, Hamalak Hagoel. Okay, and let's see. Okay, let them grow, Daga. I'm looking for that one in the Hebrew part. Okay, let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew. With the audio.
וישלח ישראל את ימינו, וישת על ראש אפרים, והוא הצעיר, ואת שמאלו על ראש מנשה, סיכל את ידיו, כי מנשה הבכור. ויברך את יוסף ויאמר, האלוהים אשר התהלכו אבותי לפניו, אברהם ויצחק, האלוהים הרואה אותי מעודי עד היום הזה, המלאך הגואל אותי מכל רע, יברך את הנערים, ויקרא בהם שמי ושם אבותי אברהם ויצחק, וידגו לרוב בקרב הארץ.
So that was 14 through 16. So verse 17 and 18. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it was evil in his eyes, and he took hold of his father's hand to remove it from the head of Ephraim to the head of Manasseh. And Joseph said to his father, Not so, my father, for this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. Okay, let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew.
וירא יוסף כי ישית אביו יד ימינו על ראש אפרים, וירא בעיניו, ויתמוך יד אביו להסיר אותה מעל ראש אפרים, על ראש מנשה. ויאמר יוסף אל אביו, לא כן אבי, כי זה הבכור, שים ימינך על ראשו.
Okay. You have Habachor for firstborn. Okay. And continue on with verse 19 through 20. And we have just 4 more verses. So 19 and 20. But his father refused and said, I know, my son, I know. He also becomes a people, and he also is great. And yet his younger brother is greater than he, and he is seated to become the completeness of the nation. Very interesting. And verse 20. And he blessed them on that day, saying, In you Israel shall bless, saying, Elohim make you as Ephraim and Manasseh. Thus he put Ephraim before Manasseh. So let's look at 19 and 20 in the Hebrew. Okay. Let's see. So we have fullness, okay, or the completeness of the nation. Melo Hagoim. Melo Hagoim. Okay, let's go ahead and hear that in the Hebrew 19 and 20.
וימאן אביו, ויאמר, ידעתי בני, ידעתי, גם הוא יהיה לעם, וגם הוא יגדל. ואולם אחיו הקטון יגדל ממנו, וזרעו יהיה מלוא הגויים. ויברכם ביום ההוא לאמור, בך יברך ישראל לאמור, ישימך אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה. וישם את אפרים לפני מנשה.
Okay. And then 21 and 22, the final 2 verses. And Israel said to Joseph, See, I am dying, but Elohim shall be with you and bring you back to the land of your father. And I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took from the hand of the Amorite, with my sword and with my bow. Bow. Sorry. Okay, 21 and 22 in the Hebrew.
ויאמר ישראל אל יוסף, הנה אנוכי מת, והיה אלוהים עמכם, והשיב אתכם אל ארץ אבותיכם, ואני נתתי לך שכם אחד על אחיך, אשר לקחתי מיד האמורי, בחרבי ובקשתי.
Okay, and that is the end of that part of chapter 48. So on Wednesday, we'll continue with chapter 49. And we are complete for today. So let's go ahead and switch our screen. Does anybody have any comments on what we've been reading right now? Anything you guys want to mention or add? We were reading about Jacob is close to passing away, and Joseph comes to see him to have his children blessed. Anybody have any comment that they want to mention? Anything they want to? Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and say the blessing to close.
Yanai, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say how important it is to bless our children and how we have been made to the image of the Almighty. And in the same manner that He is creative, when He speaks, we do the same, We create when we speak. That's why it says in the Proverbs, there is power of life and death in the tongue. So always, always bless our children, no matter how upset we might be with them. Always say something good, creative for them. And in this case, we notice that the blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh is being said in all the congregations in Israel all the time, every Shabbat. So it's something that goes throughout the generations and will continue. And that's where all the goyim that embraces the people of Israel through Yeshua HaMashiach is being blessed.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely the power of blessing, right, with your word. And I think we're going to see how he just said everything with such great faith, knowing for sure that it was going to be fulfilled. Right?
Amen.
And I think it's interesting how he had the gift of prophecy. It's not like mentioned straight out, but he's saying, oh, this one is going to be a great nation. This one is also going to be great. And how he has the gift of prophecy. So I think that's very,
Amen.
very interesting. So we can say the blessing to close. Good. That Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Yahweh Notena Torah. Amen. Does anybody else have anything else they want to mention? They want to add or comment? Okay. So then we'll
just be blessed, everyone. We bless you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And that reminded me of what Yeshua said. Bless and do not curse.
Amen.
So yes. Bless. That's something that we can apply to our lives this day. I hear a lot of people actually cursing, the authorities because they are not happy with them. I will not say names, but and then I say, no, please do not curse this person, because whether you like that person or not, it has been placed there by Yahweh. So because he says he puts in charge the princes or the rulers, so we need to just bless them and pray for them so that we have shalom.
I mean, I think definitely pray for them for guidance.
Yes.
And wisdom, and that they will have the fear of Yahweh.
Amen.
Okay. So we'll continue on Wednesday, and everybody have a blessed a blessed day.
Have a good
Amen.
day. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Bye, Susan. Love you.